My name's Mike Szymanski. I've been a small firm and independent consultant for about 13 years. I've been a client of Julie Ann's for 5 or 6 years. And there are really kind of four things that sold me on privatized banking. First of all, fit into my kind of worldview. As an independent consultant, I work for myself. As I say, I have to eat what I kill. So I have to be looking for the next contract or the next client constantly. And I don't rely on a large corporate entity to provide insurance or a steady paycheck. So privatized banking kind of fit into. It was another tool in my consultant toolbox or my private independent kind of mindset. It was like I have my consulting business. I've got my corporation. I've got this business, and I need some other financial mechanism to deal with my cash. The second, so it fit perfectly into where I was in terms of how I wanted to structure my life, and it was again just another kind of tool, another tool in the toolbox. Second, when I came to Julie Ann, I needed a foundation for life events, essentially. So I needed a platform on which to base. I was single at the time. I'm now married, and I needed that foundation, that the financial foundation to build and grow a family. And the third thing that sort of sold me, I did a little diligence. As a consultant, it's very important to do diligence and ask questions and seek answers from people outside of whoever you're dealing with. And I listened to Julie Ann, and I also took questions that I had about privatized banking to a friend of mine who I know and trust, who's a lawyer and an MBA and a financial advisor. And I said, well, what do you think about this? And he's like, well, yeah, you can totally do this, and I could do this too. But the life insurance company that he works with kind of frowns on it. So once I got that kind of green light from somebody who wasn't Julie Ann, somebody that I trusted, who had business sense and acumen and experience in financial consulting, I said, well, this checks out. And I think the fourth thing that really sold me on it is the way that Julie Ann took, and I understood the concepts of fiat money and again of the banking system. And when she explained it in kind of nuts and bolts, because it was not making sense from a theory to a practical, where do I write checks and how do I do that and how much is this going to cost me every month and what's the return and the mechanics. Julie Ann was very, very good and continues to astound me. When I seem to paint myself into a corner, she's like, well, we could do this or this or this. And as a financial advisor, I find that very comforting because if I, again, feel like I've painted myself into a corner, she's there with, and I do this with my consulting clients too. I was like, well, you've got these three options and this is what you could do, and pick the least offensive. I've been able to pay for a wedding, pay for a honeymoon. I've purchased 2 vehicles with the banks that I have set up. So it's been fantastic. It is disciplined savings in a lot of ways. It is disciplined savings, but there's that element of accountability that's built into it. That again, if you kind of buy into the concept, then it's not that hard to execute from my standpoint, and it provides, like I said, it's allowed me to move into a different phase of my life that I wouldn't have been able to without privatized banking. Questions?
He would avoid me. Already working together, go a long period of time. We have mutual friends. He was also referred to me. So, touch base with the other people. You talked to Mike? I haven't talked to Mike in a while. Yeah. Well, to be honest, he's nervous to call you. Me? Why me? Well, this is the painting himself into a corner situation where it's taken some time, and I think probably over the last 2 years, it's really, you're kind of past that, but.
Absolutely.
But the fact that, he would say, I don't know if see, this is what's happening, and this is what's happening. So genuinely, there's a lot of trepidation, but I think ultimately, at the end of the day, although he's singing my great praises, it really has to do with, shifting your mindset and being able to get yourself there. And the people that you know and love and, that are in your lives, this may or may not be something they can get their brain around. But I wanted to share kind of his perspective, and please feel free to ask him any questions.
I wondered, did you tell your fiancée what you do with your money?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did she understand?
She does.
All
She
right.
understands. I think sometimes I don't think she does, and she will tell her friends and family about it, and I go, that's exactly right. Good job. Between my wife and I, we have 3. I also help me get out of debt. Well,
Yeah.
there's other debt that
Yeah.
I'm working on, but it was, again, if you don't have a roadmap, any path will lead you to where you're going. And Julie Ann, working with Julie Ann definitely helps. And I come to her and I say, well, what about this, or what about this, or what do we do? What are we doing next? And she'll be like, well, you tell me, right? It's kind of up to you. And I trust her as an advisor to be like, well, this is better than that. You should think about doing this first. It's about sequencing.
Self-discovery is so powerful. So just letting you get yourself there is a
Yeah.
whole lot more powerful than me just shoving it at you, right? So get people thinking, and so
Yeah.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Mike, it's like navigating at the North Pole, right? Everywhere you go is south.
Everywhere you go is south.
Yeah. So you got bound to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember her analogy about direction, whatever. Just 1 to 2 degrees off, you're gonna miss your goal way down the way.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
So you got to be constantly correcting.
Absolutely.
Thank you.